can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet. Baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
All right, hey, how are we doing out there all across this great land of ours and around the world? It is that time. It's time for the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we are glad you took the time to join us today. Some good stuff for you today. One of the advantages I had taking the week off, we took the week off on over the Thanksgiving holiday, and it's a great advantage that I was able to get a hold of some people that have been on my list of interviews for a while. You listened to one of them yesterday, Scott Faulkner. Today we have Jonathan Dunn, who's got quite a website out there called Freedom's Disciple. And what's unique about Jonathan is he lives over in Ireland. And this guy has, talking to him, almost a fetish for American exceptionalism. So we're going to have him on today. Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio will be on with us the second hour. So another full day of interviews. And it's just kind of nice to get other people's opinions out there. Although sometimes we just find ourselves preaching to each other, the choir kind of thing. But anyway, having said that, let me get Joe on here. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing a lot better in my internet connection, John, but I'm okay, man. I survived another day. I've been out trying to find that magic wand that Donald Trump's been using because I wanted to show it to Barack Obama and stick it where the sun don't shine on him, because he seems to think that because he couldn't do anything, that nobody was going to be able to do anything, let alone Donald Trump. Just rub it into him a little bit there, yeah.
You know what I'm finding at this point so intriguing about what's going on with as Trump prepares to take office is that he's not even waiting to get inaugurated. He's already out there cutting deals. I saw something today. Japan has agreed to put $50 billion into our economy over here.
Yeah, isn't that amazing how that kind of works? There's a couple phone calls. They get together. They go over to Trump Tower, have a little bit of tea, a couple martinis, whatever it takes, and bing, bang, boom, magic wand. And look at here. We got 50 million, 50 billion, whatever it's going to be, 50, and a bunch of jobs going to be coming from it. It's like, wow, Barack. Hey, there goes that 4% unemployment rate, which is actually, we know that's a lie. Which we've known for quite a while. You can't have 90 million people out of work and go, hey, the unemployment rate's 4%.
Well, yeah, and I'm waiting to see if what we're seeing now actually occurs, and let's say within the first 6 months, because Reagan did it. Reagan was able to turn the economy around in 6 months. Let's say that Trump, with his moves, is able to do that. And I'm wondering if the media will be so quick to post unemployment numbers down at like 2.5% or 3%, or will they start telling us that the numbers are skewed because of the number of people that don't work anymore and temporary jobs and all the other stuff, all the numbers they've used to skew it for Obama's favor.
Are you saying the media? You're daring the media to actually report the truth?
Well, I just kind of like, he's already got a short list of stuff out there. They made a call to Taiwan, and that sounds like there's something going on there.
Well, Taiwan called him, so he just accepted the phone call. Look, the guy is going to be. It sounds like sounds a lot like leadership to me.
Yeah, and even my favorite guy over in the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, who called Obama the son of a whore, has come out in a press conference.
That was the nice thing he said about him.
Yeah, that was the nicest thing he said about him. And he's come out in a press conference and said he really likes Trump. He said, "Yeah, Trump and I, we're two of the same kind of people." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to get along with this guy great." And I understand that they've already had some kind of preliminary meeting. I don't know there was never any details on it, but because over in the Philippines right now, Duterte's facing the same type of opposition that Trump is over here. They're everything. They're almost a complete socialist republic over there now. And so that's cutting under the skin of some of the establishment types out there, the Aquinos and the Estradas and the Marcoses, the people that run the show over there. And Duterte's just basically, it's fun to listen to this guy. He gets on a press conference and they start talking about, so-and-so Aquino says this, or somebody from the Marcos camp says this, or Estrada says this, and he just says, "Go to hell, I don't care what you think." It's just like, I love having that honesty of just saying, I don't give a rat's ass what you think about what I'm doing. You didn't elect me, so that kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting. I wonder, when we think about, Trump has already said he's going to do away with the TPP. I wonder what kind of, it sounds like he's already making deals with the Pacific Rim over there. So that we won't need the TPP. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Well, it's going to be more centered around American interests as opposed to some global interests. I find it interesting, John, is the bullets we're starting to notice some of the bullets that we've dodged with the election of Donald Trump as opposed to Hillary Clinton. If you look at what's going on in Europe, especially in like Germany. Angela Merkel is putting the kibosh on. They don't have a First Amendment over there, so the German people aren't getting news the way we are. I mean, we think we're being lied to by quote unquote the media. It's even worse over in Germany because these people are being. They're not even. If you try to report it, you'll go to jail for it. And so Merkel is making sure that, and they're classifying it under hate speech.
Yeah, I get kind of a charge of that. I think I've mentioned on the show here before. My best friend, like in my whole life, lives over in Germany. We grew up together. We went to high school together. We met in high school, actually. I actually lived with his family for a couple of years before I left to go into the Navy. And he left when I went to the Navy. He left and went to Germany. I went into to help defend the country. He met a girl. It was kind of like two different ends of spectrums here, but he couldn't have made in the military anyways. He was 4F all the way. But it's really funny, the things that he sends me and talks to me about what's going on over here in the United States. And I keep telling him, you still think, when you talk about the United States, you still think Richard Nixon's in the White House. This guy's in a total time warp when it comes to talking about our country. Well, you ought to respect Obama. He's our president. No, he's my president. You live in Germany. All right?
Yeah, you live somewhere else. But he's one of those expatriates that Soros and those were trying to get registered so they could vote in this last election.
Yeah, I love the guy dearly, but he's as wrong as the day is long when it comes to this stuff. And meeting with his family. In fact, I'm going to go visit his family this weekend. His mother just turned 96 years old.
Oh, and, God bless her.
Yeah, and she's a woman that basically raised me. She got me my first job. Her husband is the one that talked me into going in the military. They're very dear people to me. So I'm going over to see him this weekend. And his brother and sister are more like me than he is. And he's even ribbed me about it. Well, when we were in high school, you were a Democrat. I said, no, when we were in high school, we were idiots. We didn't know the difference between a Democrat.
It's kind of the same thing, John.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know what political affiliations were. We were all getting high all the time, for crying out loud. Just we didn't care about that. We were rebels. We were anti-establishment because that was the gig in high school. That's the way people are. Anyway, we got to go to break.
Any high schooler, you oppose authority no matter what it is.
Yeah, it was. But I joke about it because the big political event when I was in high school was a sit-in that we had because they wanted us to cut our sideburns, and so we had a 3-day sit-in about the dress code, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Now you have a sit-in about you guys wanting to wear a dress.
Yeah. Now you can have sideburns, a beard, and wear a dress.
Yes. All at the same time. Yes, exactly. And then you can't tell us about it. I get you.
Yeah. And you can pack a 40 Glock when you walk into the classroom, or a 40 millimeter Glock when you walk into the classroom now too. So
maybe some classrooms, not most.
Yeah, and abortions in the lunchroom. I mean, a lot to change.
Those you can get. Yes, exactly. Well, you have to go to the Planned Parenthood nursing room.
Yeah. Okay, guys, it's time to take a break here. When we come back, we'll have Jonathan Dunn with us, and so stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go. A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers. If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you have been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
Don't get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. Okay, hey, we're back right here at the Conservative Syndicate, Real Conservative Talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos here, and I'm trying to get Jonathan Dunn hooked up here with us. And let's hope that we can get him in here. But it's just my Skype thing is telling me that the call actually failed. So that I'm having a little bit of problem here. We'll see if he picks up the phone here. Anyway, while we're waiting for him, let's see here. What's going on here?
It's technology, John. It's called technology. And remember now. Microsoft bought Skype, and ever since then,
I know this thing has just been a really pain in the butt ever since they took this thing over. It's just never worked right. Anyway, let's see. Okay, well, I'm showing here that he's not. Let's see if we get it up that way. All right. Anyway, while we're waiting for him, let's see if we can get him hooked up. If not, we'll just have to figure something out. But I did the same thing yesterday. I checked everything.
Yes, I remember.
And make sure it worked, and. It's just weird, then you find you won't need it. When you really need it, it doesn't work at all. So anyway, no, it's not working. Okay, let's hope that he calls in. Maybe I can add him that way. Okay, anyway, where are we at here? I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking again. We mentioned it briefly yesterday, but I think it's worth mentioning. Because I'm just trying, what I'm trying to do is get my head around why this is just now coming out at this juncture in Obama's administration. And that is the suspension of citizenship applications and naturalizations that have been taking place in our country for the last 8 years at least that we know of. And basically because the system is called the ELIS, electronic immigration system that the FBI has. And what's happened is the system doesn't work. And they don't know the scope of the problem. And so I'm wondering, one, how long has it not worked?
I don't think it's ever worked, John.
Yeah, it's is it on par with the Obamacare website? That's how I'm seeing this thing.
It's worse than that, John, because if it's even on par with that, it's the reason why it'd be worse is this is a national security issue. Obamacare website was just an economic disaster issue. Okay, this is actual. Hey, people's lives are at stake here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, not only that, national security, and it's just because of all the rancor. How everybody just amped this thing up to the degree that they did when Donald Trump announced during his campaign that he was going to stop all influx of people coming from the Middle East because we don't know who they are. We don't know where they're coming from. We're not vetting them. And we got all this garbage about, oh, no, the system's integral. It's all, we got it all together, and we talked about the questionnaire that they give these people, you're going to be honest enough to tell us whether you're a terrorist or not, that kind of stuff. And now here we find out that the system is down, and we don't know how long it's been down, and they don't even know the scope of the problem. Okay, So, it kind of makes me wonder. You asked a question yesterday, Joe, of Scott Faulkner, about the tenure of James Comey. Yes. I'm wondering, this would certainly fall under his jurisdiction, would it not?
Yes, this and yes, and so would be a lot of the things that we found out that are coming to light, like the hiding of the $125 billion in waste from the DOD, those kind of things from actual reports that were being done from IG kind of thing. But the thing is, John, and you were asking yesterday about Clinton being, is Trump going to go after? That's not Trump's business to do. That would be the one, Congress, two, the Justice Department. And so Jeff Sessions being Attorney General, that might be Hillary's worst nightmare there. It's not Trump per se. He can't do it. That's not the executive branch's forte. That's not what the executive branch is there for. That's what the judicial and legislative branches are for.
Yeah, well, let's try to clear this up a little bit. The Attorney General does not per se take orders from the president. Am I correct?
No, he's he's appointed by the president. And he has to be confirmed by the Senate. Yes, of course. But the thing is he is in charge of the law enforcement in the country. Basically, he's the top cop, if you want to put it another way.
Right, but the president doesn't necessarily
he cannot dictate to him, say this is what you're going to do and this is how you're going to go. No, he can do that prosecutorial discretion thing, as Obama has done and other presidents have done. This is where we want to focus our resources. He can do that.
Right. Well, that's this is what confuses people. We sit there and we say, okay, a president comes in and he nominates, or she, had it been Hillary Clinton, they nominate who they want to fill a cabinet position, and people sometimes think that their job then is to do what the president wants. Now, some of these departments certainly work that way. The State Department, for instance, is supposed to carry forth the country's position, but that is normally dealt through the executive branch, because it's the responsibility of the executive branch to enforce the laws and enforce policy and stuff like that. So, but I understand that the Attorney General's office, like the FBI, everybody talked about Loretta Lynch, trying to collar James Comey. She doesn't really have that authority.
Nope.
And it's the same way with the Attorney General's position, from what I understand. The president isn't supposed to be using the Attorney General's office to promote his agenda, as Obama did. And here's the problem. Yeah. The problem is that when you have a president that has done what Obama has done, governed through executive orders, and used bureaucracies within the government to advance his agenda, people come to accept that that's the process, that that's the way it's supposed to be. And so it makes it very easy. What I'm getting at is, should Jeff Sessions come in and say, well, let's say it starts where it really should start. Congress holds one of their committees, and they decide at this point in time, we want to go after Hillary Clinton. They want to press a special prosecutor or something like that. And then I imagine then it works its way up to the Attorney General. Am I correct? I might be a little foggy on the process.
Congress is doing things a little different. They have their own prosecutorial discretion going on. They do their things as Congress. They might interact with the Justice Department, but they're separate entities, so they might go on different paths.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to identify how it's supposed to work, not how it's working.
Yeah, exactly. We can't. You see, that's the problem with a lot of our younger folks. The only thing they've known is Barack Obama.
Yeah.
You were 10, 11 years old when Barack Obama comes in. Now they're of quote unquote adulthood, young adulthood, 18, 19 years old, and they're out there freaking out. All they know is Barack Obama, and they think that's how things are supposed to be done because, well, let's face it, we don't teach American civics in school anymore.
No.
So people have, even college-educated or college-age students, they have no idea how it's supposed to be done. They have no clue. It's not been taught in 20 years.
Yeah, and see, that you hit it on the head there. That's what I'm getting at here. When you have 1 to 2, maybe up to 3 generations now of people that have not been taught how the government is structured, how the balances of power are supposed to operate, it allows things like a president like Barack Obama to come in and govern by decree, and everybody just kind of assumes that, oh, yeah, that's the way it is. The president comes in and he tells Congress what to do, and then Congress figures out whether they want to do it or not. And if they do something that pisses off the president, then the Supreme Court comes in and, spanks their bottoms and tells them, this is the way it's supposed to be. None of these things are happening at any level in our government right now. And so it's no wonder that those of us who know are angry about it being dysfunctional, and those of us who don't are angry because it's not doing what they think it's supposed to do the way they think it's supposed to be happening. Yeah. So it's no wonder we have this massive division in the country between the no's and the no's not and the no nots,
Yeah, absolutely. People, they just don't understand. And the thing is once you sit and separate but equal, and that's what it's supposed to be, separate but equal. I mean, one's not more powerful than the other. That's how it was intended to be set up. Now, I do understand, and it's happened. I mean, if you really want to take it back, I mean, you can go back as far as Lincoln, as far as overstep. Even Thomas Jefferson, if you really want to, the Louisiana Purchase, the president overstepping his bounds and authority as president. Not being able to do certain things according to the Constitution, but the way Obama has done it in the past was, I mean, he didn't care. I mean, he was just going to. Congress is not giving me what I want, so I'm going to use my pen and a phone, and I'm going to, berate everybody and dare people to go ahead and take me to court. And well, don't worry, I have a press and a media that's going to go out there and call everybody a racist if they go against me. So I have no fear of anything. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And he's still out there doing it now to this day.
Yeah, I always thought, especially in Obama's second term, his campaign slogan should have been "Sue me." And because that's basically what he did. He just basically just say, this is what I'm going to do. And if I can't get it through Congress, in fact, in a lot of cases, like the immigration situation, the DREAM Act and all that other stuff is basically just, well, I'm not going to bother trying to put it through Congress. I'm not going to bother with debates because it takes too long. And God knows we need this now. We got to get it done now because it's the right thing to do and all that other crap.
I'll just sign a thing and we'll call it DACA, and that'll be that. And then he just pushes it down the road, and then he tells these organizations, these government organizations who make decrees and have the same weight as law, although they're not laws. These, the EPA, the INS, all these places, and then they do it, and it has the same force and weight as law. And so, for you to fight that, like the EPA on a water issue or something like that, it would cost you a massive amount of money. Who can fight the government? Well, if you have enough money, you can, but the government's always going to have more money than you.
Yeah, and along that line, I mean, just here's an example. I just want to throw this little thing in here because when you mentioned the EPA, the big noise out there right now is the protest that's going on. I believe it's in North Dakota over the pipeline.
Yeah, uh-huh.
They got the Indians out there in teepees and the celebrities, the numbskull celebrities out there.
Yeah, playing drums and whatever. Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
Really, I wish it was the middle of winter. That way, they'd really be freezing their.
Well, the thing I got a kick out of was, and we were talking. You mentioned earlier fake news. The big thing I was hearing yesterday was that Donald Trump owns stock in the company that is that wants to build or is constructing the a pipeline out there in North Dakota, and
let's not talk about Warren Buffett, who owns the railroads. That if the pipeline goes out to a certain distance, then his railroad's going to gain tax to this.
So I caught it on CNN last night. They were making a big deal about it on CNN last night. But then I find out, I flick over to, I think it was Fox, or it might have been another news channel, and what we find out is that Donald Trump had already sold his stock in that company. And
my goodness, no way. You mean actual, no kidding?
So they're all out there ready to do the, all of a sudden everything Donald Trump does is a conflict of interest, completely disregarding everything Hillary Clinton did that was a conflict of interest. Nobody cared about that. But Donald Trump, owned some stock in an oil company, which he already sold. And it was funny the way they put it was they said, we're not sure when he sold it.
That's funny, John, because I heard the same routine on Steele and Unger from yesterday. I heard it, and they were talking about all these lies that were coming out of the campaign from Donald Trump, and I'm like thinking, and Hillary Clinton was telling the truth about everything.
Yeah.
Right. Email server, anybody?
Yeah. We got to go to our break here. We'll be right back. I think we messed up with Jonathan Dunn. It's 11 o'clock in Ireland right now in the evening, so I'm not so sure that he knew what time zone I was talking about, even though I kept telling him Pacific time. So we'll just work around that. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923 and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contest and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Expand your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Expand your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, safety, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474, 866-657-8474, 866-657-8474, 866-657-8474.
Get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. Okay. We're back right here at the Conservative Syndicate. I am your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And we're just going to assume that we had a mess up with the time zone out there with Jonathan Dunn. He lives over in Dublin, Ireland. I really wanted to talk to him about Dublin. I've been there several times. I love the city, but he talks about it like he talks about Ireland in a completely different vein. But then again, I don't live there.
Yeah, see, that's the point. He lives there, so he understands. I mean, he can't leave. That's why he can leave and just visit other places, but eventually...
Well, he referred.
He come here and be illegal, and probably he could probably get to go to school and everything else around here, as long as he's not disgruntled and go nuts in someplace and
he refers
over with his car. Or,
he refers to it as a socialist republic. I mean and yes, it is a socialist republic. But
you got people over there make a Facebook post and get arrested for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Serious. So that is pretty bad.
Well, great tourist place, though. I tell you.
Well, yes, I get that. Guinness. I love Guinness. That's some good liquid bread. I always enjoy that.
Oh, one of the things I always joke about, one of the tours we took over there, I've been there, I think, 3 times now. The first tour we took over there, we went on a bus tour throughout the city of Dublin. Went by the St. Patrick's Cathedral, then Christ Church, and then, of course, Guinness, which is right behind St. James Infirmary, which people don't know that St. James, the Catholic Church, owns Guinness. And the tour guide was telling us about how you got the church, and then you got the brewery behind the church, and then you got the rehab center behind the brewery. And it was just
one-stop shopping. I mean,
all within about 6 blocks, And it's funny the way he said it was, people they always talk about the Irish drinking problem over here. He goes, but only half the Irish drink today. The other half will drink tomorrow.
Exactly. The other half drink tomorrow. Exactly. Yes. I love that. I mean, them and the Scots, if you can go anywhere, I highly recommend it. Go there.
Oh, yeah.
It will be a fun visit.
Oh, it is great. I mean, it is one, I think of all the places, I've been to a lot of places, and it's one of my favorites. It's just the atmosphere. I guess that's what it is. When you accept socialism as a way of life, and, you get kind of complicit and complacent about everything else, I guess life can be good if you're just, resigned to the fact that you're never going to be rich. But, it's just beautiful scenery, beautiful, everything there I liked. Even the hamburger joints were better. So, anyway, I did want to address something here. And I think this is something that I'm doing it more to brag. okay? Because one of the things Joe and I have been doing on this show, we're pretty damn accurate when it comes to how we finally assess something. We talk about it, we get our heads around it. Sometimes we exhaust the topic. But through it all, we're always able to come up with pretty close to what's actually happening or what's going to happen. And it's nice that when everything, the dust settles and you're able to look at something that actually confirms what you say. And we talked a lot about, I think the last couple months before the election, we talked a lot about the fact that all the evidence that we were seeing was that Donald Trump was going to win this thing. I did not expect him to win it to the degree he did, but I think we were pretty solid. He was going to end up winning this thing.
Well, it was kind of strange to hear these pundits in the media all going, "Hey, he doesn't have a chance," and he goes out and like Scott said yesterday, he's at two days notice he can go out and get 30,000 people to show up at a location. Yeah. Hillary Clinton's running around there, and unless she brings out some celebrity, she can't fill up a high school gymnasium.
Yeah.
And it's just, once as though, well, it might be just a aberration. When it's happening consistently, time after time after time after time, it's common sense. There's something else going on here, people. They might not be getting it, but you might want to pay attention to this.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about Frank Luntz had mentioned after the election that they should abolish exit polls because he like everybody else was just dead wrong. I mean, just dead wrong. And we talked about it. I think some of the things that confirmed it for us was the emails out of WikiLeaks with John Podesta and Robbie Mook were talking about how to actually skew polls. And it came to our attention, I think it was the second or third debate when Hillary Clinton all of a sudden got a 10-point rise overnight. And everything was dead even pretty much. I think it was the second poll, the second debate. And it was like, they were running neck and neck according to everybody. And then all of a sudden, after the second poll or the second debate, she gets 10 to 12 points overnight. Just, she did so well in the debate that she just trounced Trump. And it was at that point, I think, when we recognized, no, something's not right here. And, we were talking about polls out here like the LA Times and the USC LA Times, which were saying Trump was actually up by a couple of points. And so there was this great gap between the polls. And we just figured out that, especially with the WikiLeaks thing on the emails and stuff, that, hey, this is all a fabrication. And the intent was to just get everybody just to throw up their hands and let's all go vote for Hillary because that's the way it's going to turn out.
Yeah, well, it was inevitable. It was inevitability right there. It's just inevitable. It's got to be happening. That's just the way we see it because we are the media and we know it all.
Yeah, and we know. We got this thing wired. We've been doing it for so long, we just know. Well, anyway, the point being is that after the election, everybody kept saying, well, the polls were wrong. The polls were wrong. The polls didn't get it right. They didn't get it right. Well, what it really turns out is that the polls weren't actually that inaccurate. What the polls were doing, though, were they were completely disregarding that section or that demographic in the polls that wasn't choosing between Trump or Clinton when they were being asked who they were going to vote for. Now, I'm going to share with you, explain this in detail here. Forbes wrote a post by Michael Durkheimer on November 30th, towards the last day of November. And I saw this, and I've been wanting to share it. I'm going to share it right now to kind of just emphasize what we're talking about here. He says in here, many pundits have said that the pre-election polls were wrong, that an error is the only explanation for Trump's surprise victory. As a daily reader of Real Clear Politics, I too was surprised by the results. On election night, I remember the exact moment that I knew Trump was going to win when he had an early and clear lead in Wisconsin. I thought, this should not be happening. If Wisconsin is even close, it's already over in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan. And ultimately, that's it for the election. He's got it. But in the days following the surprising election result, I have reassessed purported pre-election polling errors in those Rust Belt states, and I noticed something surprising. Clinton's pre-election poll numbers were not wrong. As the prime example, take a look at Wisconsin, which is perhaps the biggest Trump upset because the Real Clear Politics average of polls prior to the election had Clinton as a 6.5% favorite over Trump. Looking closely at Clinton's pre-election polling average, 46.8%, and her election day vote percentage, 46.9%, they are nearly identical. Trump's numbers, however, show a massive improvement of 7.6%. If Clinton's poll numbers were accurate, where did all the Trump's extra voters come from? Well, to answer this question, we must look at how many votes were unaccounted for between Clinton and Trump in pre-election polling. 46.8% Clinton to 40.3% Trump equals 87.1%. That means nearly 13% of the electorate was not reflected in the pre-election analysis, double Clinton's purported 6.5% lead. There was plenty of space for Trump to win. His voters were sitting hidden right under our noses.
Yeah, right.
And
it wasn't really hidden. They just ignored it.
Yeah, and we coined the phrase here, the silent T's. People that were, the article goes on to explain that really what happened was people didn't want to be attacked and labeled ostracized for saying they were going to vote for Trump. So they either said they were going to vote for Clinton or they didn't say anything.
Yeah, I think it was more the latter. They didn't say anything.
Yeah, because as he said here, the numbers and the polling numbers on Clinton were accurate in terms of what she actually got, but Trump's numbers were off by a lot. And the reason being is that people just were probably even saying undecided or maybe even listing a third-party candidate. And then when they got into the poll, were casting their vote for Trump because they didn't want to hit it. Because think about it. Stein, I think, had a 3% in the polls, and she only pulled in less than 1%.
Yeah, exactly. And then she goes and calls for the recount, which is a whole different thing. Hey, here's something interesting about the recount, John. I just pulled this up. This early recount numbers in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah. The recount so far has shown virtually no change. I think there's some issues up in Michigan, but not enough that's going to change anything. But
nothing's going to change anything. But there is a bit of a change. Trump widened his victory margin over Clinton in Wisconsin by 146 votes, with 23 of the state's 72 counties finished in the recounts on Tuesday. In those counties, Trump gained 105 votes and Clinton dropped 41. Trump defeated Clinton in Wisconsin by 22,000 votes, and yet they're still going to go ahead. Federal judges scheduled a hearing on Friday on a lawsuit filed last week by Trump voters and two super PACs seeking to stop this recount because it's just wasting money.
Well, the reason they don't want to waste any more money either is Jill Stein needs that for her 2020 run.
Thank you. She's perpetrating a fraud on these people.
Yeah, that's what that's about. Maybe if she takes Roseanne Barr on as her VP on the ticket with her, maybe she'll get. Maybe she might break that 1% ceiling. You know, I don't know. We got to go to break.
When we Windows by talking too much.
Well, if nothing else, it would be great to once again hear Roseanne Barr sing the national anthem.
No. Let's go to a break now. No.
Well, see, I just have to turn off my hearing aid and then just laugh at the at the video. You know that. So anyway, we got to go to a break here. We'll be right back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, the adults in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosalive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosalive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
Don't get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. All right, hey, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. You know, we were talking earlier about how Trump is already moving to help right the economy here. And we mentioned his meeting today with representatives from Japan, and they already committed to put $50 billion into the economy over here. I don't know how that plays out. I guess we'll get the details later. Certainly not before January 20th.
$50 billion to create 50,000 jobs in the United States. Japanese telecom company.
Yeah.
SoftBank Group.
Well, here's another thing. And I was listening to this in the car this morning as I was running some errands. He went after Boeing. Trump went after Boeing today.
We talked about this the other day, I think, didn't you? I think somebody mentioned this to me about Air Force One.
Yeah, he was. I guess Trump is basically going to, he's going to be using the bully puppet not just for Congress, but anybody that gets in his way. And apparently he dressed down the Boeing CEO pretty much about the fact that, hey, you're charging too much.
Well, yeah, it's $4 billion. They're going, it's $3.2 billion. Okay, it's $4 billion a plane, and truth be known, you let it ride, it's probably going to be more like $5 billion for two aircraft. Really? I recall the our stealth bomber didn't cost that much.
What really, the first thing that hit my mind when I heard this was, I wonder who awarded this contract to him. Well, it had to be during Obama's administration, right?
Yes.
So was Obama thinking that he was actually going to serve a third term? I mean, were we going to have his and her Air Force Ones? Was that the idea?
I don't know, but it's kind of like it. Look, I want that plane to be as secure as you can possibly make that plane secure, but they're secure, and then there's wasteful spending. And as I said before, the report just came out late yesterday, early today, where the report came out, the Pentagon wasting $125 billion.
Yeah, that was something I was going to mention, and we might as well talk about it now. We got a few minutes here, and that's something. See, that's when I read about this kind of stuff. This deal with Boeing, $4 billion for a jet, or two jets, or $4 billion each, or was it $4 billion for both? Either way, $4 billion is a hell of a lot of money for an airplane.
That's a lot of money. I don't care where you're at.
Yeah, that thing should be able to fly to Mars and back if it costs that much. But the hidden money in the Pentagon. Now, I worked for the Department of Defense, and I worked in the Comptroller's department. I was an auditor for the Comptroller. So I understand what's going on here. And when I saw this, I just went, yeah, I think I told the story here in this show about the unappropriated money that was being wasted at the Long Beach Naval Station regarding the housing. And two of the people that were in charge of housing when I was there, after I left, it took place after I left, actually are in prison now, because there was some stuff that it's kind of a long story. I'll give you the revised version just so you know the context of what I'm saying here. When I was the accounting supervisor over housing, I began auditing, looking at the books and seeing how the costs were accumulating in terms of repairs of housing units once people vacated. And I saw a discrepancy between the number of hours and the money that was being spent, and I couldn't account for it. It just seems like we have a lot more hours or a lot more money than we do hours being spent. And it was kind of just, and I went to the housing director and pointed it out to him. He said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's non-appropriate money. We don't have to worry about it. Well, I ended up being transferred over to the comptroller, where lo and behold, I was put in charge of auditing the Navy shipyard, which was the people that the work fell under for the renovations of units. And I began auditing, spent 2 years going through microfiche, tracking every single transaction that took place, every single charge and stuff like that. And when I left, I turned it all over to the comptroller and said, this is what I've got. And I never heard anything else. 2 years later, come to find out, that audit that I did triggered an IG investigation. And they found out that what was happening was the shipyard was going into the housing units the first time, not doing the work, and then billing for it. And then if the tenants called up and reported that there was something wrong, then they would go in and do the work again, and then they would bill a second time. And since it was non-appropriated money, somehow the money was being funneled or siphoned and put into actually personal checking accounts of the people. So these people, it was the tune of what I heard was somewhere in the neighborhood of $23 million is what they ended up finding out before these people got caught. So I look at this and I'm going, I would just about bet you dollars to donuts if they pulled an audit on this, they would have the same type of stuff going on. The difference being is that they're talking about appropriated money. There's a difference. Non-appropriated money, you spend it first and the government reimburses. Appropriated money, you have to go before Congress and you have to present your budget and say, this is what we need to run the show. And that's why a lot of times in DOD, dealing with DOD, the first 3 quarters of the year, there's very little spending. And in the last quarter, they go out of their way. They try to spend all of the money so that they don't lose it when they go before as claimants to Congress the second time around. So that's where you get buildings like we did. The base was shutting down and they were still renovating offices, putting in carpet and computers, and nobody was there because the money had already been spent.
It's been allocated and spent, and so it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, so this is something I'm wondering. I'm wondering what's going to happen. See, this stuff is coming out now. We talk about the immigration situation, the Pentagon hiding a report, and why is it coming out now that Obama's getting ready to leave office? That to me is the $64 question.
Well, they're trying to make it look like everything is rosy and everything, but oh my goodness, there's so much trouble going on. All this is intended to do is either distract and or make things very difficult for Mr. Trump and the transition, and to make it hard for him to do anything in that first 100 days of his administration.
Yeah, because I wonder how quick.
Scott said last night, time is the enemy of that administration. Yes, yeah, the longer it goes, the harder things are going to be to get done.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering how quick everybody's going to be to try to tag what's happening with Obama and the things that are coming out now, tagging it onto Trump.
Exactly, and that's what the media will do. You know that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, Obama's 8 years in, still blaming Bush. Trump will be in for 30 days, and it'll all be his fault.
It's already his fault. He hasn't even taken the oath of office.
Yeah. It's amazing. Okay, guys, we're at the top of the hour here. Edward's Notebook, we'll pay some bills. We'll be back. Audrey Russo with us next hour. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate.
America the Beautiful is already benefiting from the Trump effect. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, After 8 dark years of economic misery, the United States economy is starting to show visible signs of life. Pro-American Donald Trump is still waiting in the wings before stepping into his elected role as President of these United States. But amazingly, he already has done more before taking the oath of office to invigorate the U.S. economy than outgoing progressive President Obama did over the past 80 years as the leader from behind president. Because Donald Trump took the time to reach out to Bill Ford, the Ford Motor Company has modified plans to ship auto production to Mexico, and thus jobs will be spared in Michigan. Air conditioning manufacturer Carrier of Indiana will now not be pulling up stakes and moving their headquarters to Mexico. With the promise of reducing America's burdensome corporate tax rate and abusive regulations, the legendary U.S. economy is once again poised to take off. By God's grace, good days are dawning upon our republic.
Happy days are here again.
Don't blow it this time, America. I'm Ron Edwards.
A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. The Conservative Syndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Hey, all you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet.
Baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
All right, and we're back. Hour two right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And, it doesn't get any better than this. I want to share something with you here that I just found during the break. This is our short segment. It won't take that long to talk about, but it is something that just proves just how bad the establishment is when it really comes to getting results for the people that have elected officials that are owned and run by the establishment. You remember Mr. John Kasich, governor of Ohio, Governor John Kasich. And during the campaign, all we heard about from this guy was how he had turned the Ohioan economy around, how many jobs that were created, how he'd done such a knockout, bang-up job of making jobs, creating jobs. And the argument or the criticism against him was that they found fracking in Ohio. And that's why the economy did a turnaround. It wasn't so much anything that Kasich had done. But Kasich was out there constantly toting about how he's the kind of guy that can bring people together and get the job done and get the economy back on track and secure our borders and do all that kind of stuff. Lo and behold, today, John Kasich warns Ohio that they're on the verge of recession as the tax revenues drop. And now I kind of wonder. Now I'm sitting here going, okay, maybe that's why he was so in favor of the TPP. So I want to share with you this article here. It was just published just a moment ago, just when we went on the air today, and I just found it out of the Columbus Dispatch. On the day Governor John Kasich told the Ohio House that we are on the verge of a recession in our state. The latest tax receipts show revenue continues to come in below estimates. Total tax revenues for November came in at $99 million below estimates, putting it off the mark by 5%, including income taxes that came in more than 10% under projections. This follows October when revenues were off by $88 million, or 4.7%. Now, the Kasich administration, including Budget Director Tim Keene, has been putting out warnings that the next 2-year budget is going to be tight. Slowing tax revenue is just one issue impacting funding that will be available for the next 2-year budget. Kasich and lawmakers also must deal with estimated $1.1 billion funding hit from the loss of federal Medicaid dollars. And that's not even related to any changes to Obamacare that President-elect Donald Trump and federal GOP leaders will make. Now, federal regulators are putting an end to Ohio charging sales tax on Medicaid managed care organizations. Here's my point. This guy was telling us all during the campaign what a great governor he was, the great economy that he had created, and the jobs. And boy, he was just, like I said, just a bang-up governor.
Really?
And here we are. The man, and I can't help but think that he wants the TPP because he was looking for those federal dollars.
Yep.
Okay, and so that he could. The only guy that really is the master at using federal money and making it look like it's coming from someplace else is our own governor out here, Governor Moonbeam Jerry Brown, who can cook the books better than anybody I've ever seen. But Mr. Kasich, Mr. Optimism, Mr. I can bring it all together, is now facing bankruptcy in his own state. I just thought you needed to know that. You people out there that thought Kasich was the guy, yeah, okay. You might as well join those pastors over there that don't want to talk about homosexuality. Okay, you're in the same group, idiots. All right, now another thing here. Let's see what coming. Well, I don't have time to talk about this, but I was looking at what Obama was talking about today. His press conference or his speech out there, out in your neck of the woods, I believe. Joe is out there down there in Florida, MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa.
Yeah, MacDill in Tampa. Yeah, I try to do my best. Well, okay. I was working today. I didn't have time to listen to his crap, but I would like to put up a big barrier to keep him out from anywhere around.
Well, I didn't even think it was really worth talking about because I knew what he was going to do, and he did just what I thought he was going to do. But I just thought you guys ought to know that he's claiming, even though the reports are now coming out that terrorism is on the rise and we're worse off than we were when he took office,
it's not his fault.
He's still telling us that everything he's done was great. The results are clear. Okay. ISIL has lost more than half its territory. ISIL has lost control of major population centers, and recruitment is dying. Yeah. In what world? In Obama land, terrorism is under control. In the rest of the world, it's still a major threat and growing. But he's out there telling us, once again, everything I did was right, and anything that anybody else wants to do is wrong.
Yes, like getting jobs in Indiana.
Yeah, you can always tell when Obama's lying through his teeth. This phrase comes in different forms, but what he said today was, to say that we've made progress is not to say that the job is done. Okay, we still have more to do, and terrorism is still an issue. Okay, it will always be an issue, but I did a damn good job. That's Mr. Obama out there today at MacDill Air Force Base. We got to go to a break. We'll be right back. We have Audrey Russo. We have Audrey Russo sitting off in the sidelines here. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away. A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save Save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers. If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
Get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. Okay, hey, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we've got with us Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio, doing her weekly segment with us. How are you doing this evening, my dear?
Very good. How are you doing?
Oh, your voice changed again.
What do you mean?
Well, I think Joe was talking about how you were sounding a little bit husky there.
Oh, well, I'm tired, I guess, and my allergies, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near like that.
Okay. Well, we just want to make sure you weren't entering into the. Well, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to do it.
That road.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Audrey, I thought I'd bring up this topic with you because I think you would probably relate to it very well here. I've been ranting, actually, over the last 2 or 3 days about this witch hunt over at the HGTV about, what's her name, Chip and Joanne Gaines have a show over there. And they're being labeled, as haters because their pastor has expressed views contrary to what the narrative is in the leftist world, that homosexuality is an acceptable lifestyle. And I haven't been ranting because the media is going after these people. I've been ranting because these people have chosen to remain silent about their views, and that's really kind of pissed me off. That's one of my pet peeves about Christians, that they won't take a stand and defend their faith, although they keep telling us that they're Christians. And it just rubs me the wrong way, in a way that I can't even describe. And I've been locked into a debate with some people out there in social media about it. And I had just mentioned off the cuff to one of them that we're looking at, when you're not willing to stand up and state what you believe in terms of Christianity, what you're basically doing is through complicity, you're actually lining yourself up with a worldview. And the concept of Christianity that we all learn in Basic Christianity 101 is that you reap what you sow. And what I hear today now is that this family is now being sued. They got a $1 million lawsuit, but it's not about anything to do with homosexuality. Mm-hmm. It has to do with them placing a gate on their property that leads into the parking lot, And apparently the person that actually owns the parking lot is pissed off that he's lost revenue. He wanted to charge for parking. They wanted free parking, whatever. So he's suing now $1 million on these guys. And then I find out that they actually owe taxes to the state of Texas in the tune of $10,000.
Now, who is this that you're talking about? The same, the Gaines?
Yeah, the Gaines family.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying, things go full circle. People don't understand in the world of Christianity that there are consequences when you choose certain actions. You may be forgiven, you may be reconciled to God, but you still fall under that consequences for your actions. And I'm one of these people that just believe this is kind of, I don't know, let's use the secular term, karma.
Okay, I'm not going to go that far right now because this is just it's stirring up. But they haven't denied anything that they go to that church. They've chosen to go to that church, which I'm happy about. And that they are not denying that view. I think they're trying to let things calm down right now. I don't think that if you're saying you think they're denying Christ, no, I don't think they're doing that. If someone's questioning them and they're just because they're not commenting right now doesn't mean they're not going to comment. But you don't throw fuel onto the fire. They're trying to make them say something so that they can spew back. So they're just keeping it cool right now. But I don't think that they're not in any. They're not hiding. They're still doing their show. I think the HGTV is actually pretty smart in that those are attacking them because the Gaines are on there, like they did with what's their name? The other brothers that were on there, the twin brothers.
Oh yeah, the Burnham brothers or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, the Burnham brothers. That's it. Okay, the Benham brothers. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was close. It's close. I could look it up
close
here. But
my apologies if I'm saying it, if I am not pronouncing the name correctly or I'm not remembering correctly, but they did the same thing with them.
The point is, this has happened before with HGTV.
Yes, but the good thing is that their response to those who are saying, you're putting these people on, they're bigots or this and that, they say, we have, and I think this was brilliant, we have a diverse, people with diverse opinions on and I was like, oh yes, you're sticking it right back to them because their diversity is not diversity.
Yes.
Right.
The less diversity is not
diverse if you're like them.
Of course, that's as diverse as they get. If they don't, I had said to one lefty once, well, okay, so where are Christians in your diverse world? Silence.
Yeah. I just my position is I'm just a little bit more activist when it comes to this type of situation. See, if I was in their shoes, if somebody came after me like this, I would be so back in their face, and I would be like, you know what? Why don't you do this? Why don't you get me? See if you can get me kicked off the air, and let's see if I can't do something like maybe file a defamation suit against you for attacking me because of my beliefs.
Well, you know what? And I wouldn't, I wouldn't say you were wrong for doing that, but I don't want to say, well, if I were you with them, I think that they're pretty smart people, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt right now. I've been like you in the past, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I just want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't believe that they're denying their faith. I just think they're trying to let things cool down because you don't want to feed this. They're idiots. The ones that are they're the bigots, the really fascists who are against free speech are the ones that are trying to goad them into a fight, and it's not worth it. It's not. It really isn't. There's better ways to do it.
Yeah, it seems to me that we have an opportunity here to come back at these people, because the reason Christians are being attacked so much is because we're easy targets just because of this. I was reading an article the other day, and I can't remember where it was because I kind of sped read it, that there was somebody in the leftist community was talking about the fact that they don't go after Muslims because they fear retribution from Muslims, but Christians are an easy target because we just kind of lay down and,
You're
welcome
not going to cut their heads off, right?
And so, when I hear stuff like that, I'm thinking, we really do have to come to a place where we have to push back. And when you're in the public eye like this, I think it's almost an obligation. And, they may be holding off, as you say here, to let things calm down. But once they do make a statement, if they do, it's just going to come back again. And, I think it's like you got to nip this stuff in the bud.
Wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong that could happen. I just don't want to dictate to them on how to do this, and I don't want to condemn them because they're not answering when I think they should answer. I'm just watching to see what happens here. I'm gonna throw my bets on them.
Yeah,
right
you might be right. I'm a little bit touchy about it because of the number of years that I've had to deal with pastors on this topic.
Sure.
We were talking earlier last week about the poll that came out with Pew Research that only 5% of Christians surveyed said that anything was said from the pulpit during this election cycle. And that's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. And but normally isn't it the other way around though, that somebody in the congregation would stand up and say something like we were talking about the brothers earlier, HGTV, the ones that lost their show over this, and the pastors would be the one that would say, "Oh, I don't really have a view on this. I don't, that kind of thing."
Right. Well, I think that the pastor is smart, wise, courageous, and he says this is what we believe, and we're not hateful. Like you said, we're not hateful toward homosexuals. Of course not.
No.
They can come and visit our church, but we're not going to change our biblical view.
Yeah,
because you don't agree with
you
it.
actually
See,
you want them in your church. I'm like, if you're a homosexual, come to our church. You need to come to our church. You're like a sinner just like the rest of us, all right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and he, because they don't want that. They don't want people to be reasonable. They just don't. The Lord says, come reason together, right? Right? So, you will give them the truth and they'll reject it, but at least you give them the truth. He told them the truth. Now, I want to give this couple a chance, and they're trying to use the wisdom in their response. Yeah. But I don't think that I understand what you're saying, but they're not pastors and they're not hiding. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I could be wrong, but I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt right now.
Well, the great thing about being an American is you have the right to be wrong.
Right, of course. And we know the left is always wrong, so...
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out here. I just think, golden opportunity to stand up and give a testimony and push back against this kind of stuff, because it's only gonna amplify once Trump gets in office. And
right. But the good thing is that one thing that he has said is that he's going to, because he had 2 meetings with many pastors. And that was one issue. That was a problem that a Christian's rights, free speech rights under the First Amendment are not being protected. And he's going to do that. He's going to make sure it's enforced.
Yeah, well, that was part of the, because you had those dealings with Obamacare where you're forced to do things medically that go against your religion. And he's going to try to take care of it. That's part of the things that he was talking about as well, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, have we breached the topic with you, Audrey, on Trump's cabinet picks, or did we do it? There was only a couple of picks at that time. There's been several more here. Are you up to date on that?
Actually, we didn't do that too long ago, so I don't think there's too many more.
There's plenty of picks left.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I mean,
it's kind of like the fantasy football draft almost.
None that are new that I'm aware of that I am knowledgeable enough about. I mean, there's so many posts to be filled. I'm still watching what's going to happen with the State Department, but I doubt very much it's going to be Mitt Romney, the guy who doesn't his opinion of Trump is doesn't want he doesn't want him in. He didn't want him in because he didn't want trickle down bigotry and trickle down racism. That's that's what he said. And so I'm thinking to myself, now Trump is a smart man, so I think he's playing with him.
Yeah,
because what he's doing is exposing what that Romney doesn't have a spine. Okay, because if he really believed those things, he wouldn't accept an invitation from him to meet him about a position in his cabinet, would he?
Yeah, what? Yeah. What do you got? Some Joe?
Same thing. That's the same thing I said last night. He's just kind of he's trying to show these people for what they are. They're just hacks. They want to be part.
Opportunists. Yeah, he's an opportunist. I mean, he's a puppet.
Yeah, they want to be part of it. Please and they come with their tongues wagging. Sure, Mr. Trump, please pick me. Okay, come on, please.
Yeah, throw me a bone, huh?
Please, can I get the Olympics back in Utah again?
Well, I heard it on one of the talk shows out there. It might have been Hannity. I caught a few minutes of that the other night, and the reference was made about why would he pick somebody like Mitt Romney, because Mitt Romney, sitting across the table from somebody like a Vladimir Putin or somebody like that, he said, here's a man that caved to Candy Crowley.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
And I thought, that's quite an accurate analogy there. So yeah, let's just hope he's doing this for kicks and giggles, But how about your mayor out there? I understand Mr. de Blasio is out there talking about how much it's costing for security to watch over the Trump Towers. He's saying $400,000.
Tell him to blow it out.
And I'm thinking, well, I mean, how do people manufacture something like that? I mean, did they have to hire an extra 500 cops or something?
I don't know what he's talking about, and he's just saying, look, first of all, he's a liberal, okay? So he's a liar, all right? So we'd have to really look into those numbers. Anyway, tough. That's the way it is. What does he want? Yeah. You know what? He wouldn't have to have that if he wouldn't allow protests out there. He can push them back. Yeah, I can push them back to another street. Say here, protest over here in the corner.
You think he would be bitching and complaining if it was Hillary Clinton running her stuff from Manhattan somewhere?
No, of course not. He wouldn't. Well, did you hear about the fashion? I don't know if you heard about this. It was on Breitbart.
Okay, guys, we got to take a break here. We're over time here. I got so carried away here. We'll be right back. We've got Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio with us. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923 and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1 877-928-8822 or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally caught up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474.
Don't get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. All right, we're back once again. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And we have with us Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio. And you guys shot me an article. Who shot me the Breitbart article? Was that you, Joe?
I did. No, that was me, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'm looking at this thing. I don't know where to start. It's a very short article, but it's got so much stuff in it that I don't know whether to do. I don't know whether to whip into a comedy monologue here or what.
First of all, what does Hillary have to do with fashion?
I don't know.
Well, she does have the coat of...
I would like to know, you know.
Well, she does have the coat of many colors, you know.
Yeah, right. The pantsuit of many colors.
The pantsuit, the pantsuit fashion industry has taken a nosedive.
I mean, really. I mean, from head to toe, she's a fashion disaster.
At this point, what difference does it make?
Well, you know, and it looks like your designer is Omar the tent maker.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe. You know, my parents used to say that. That's hysterical.
Well, you know, I got to say this. I'm not much for, you know, banter when it comes to the fashion industry and a lot that goes on in the leftist community out there. But I got to tell you something here. I am just totally fascinated with the medias, the press, and everybody else, their fascination with Michelle Obama's fashion.
Oh gosh!
There's some stuff that Carol Burnett would have used in her show, taking the curtains off the wall.
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah, with the rod still in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just pulled. I saw it in the window, and I just had to wear it. Well, I love how this group's not going to have the party, so they're going to take the money meant for the party, and they're going to give it to
Planned Parenthood, so make sure that more babies are ripped out of the womb.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, yes, you guys, and it was money to be used for the birth of Christ party.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
they were going to have some nasty things there too. So a Christmas party, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here looking at nude models painted with the American flag.
No, nude male models. Okay.
I'm like, okay. I guess that means something here.
Yes, that means something.
Yes, that would turn Hillary on.
Yeah, but
did I say that out loud?
Well, this thing back to Michelle Obama's fashion designs, and I guess she's.
Do we have to? Okay.
Yeah, trendsetter here. I think, I was wondering, she's going to be out of work now. Not that she really ever worked. And I guess the his and her.
Well, her work was taking our money and going on vacation. So come on.
Yeah, we were joking about the idea that the new 2 Air Force One planes that were being manufactured by Boeing must have been his and her. I guess Obama thought he was going to get a third term, and she could have her own private jet here. But I'm thinking, maybe she could get a job with Kanye West modeling his fashions.
Oh gosh, that's like hurling material.
Have you seen the stuff that this guy's out there selling that people are actually buying?
Well, who's buying it?
I figured out I could do this. I think we'll just call it the homeless brand. I'll just go out and I'll get some clothes here. My wife's got a lot of clothes she doesn't fit into anymore. And we'll just cut holes in them, and we'll put them out there, and we'll just call it the Transient brand. And, maybe we can make some money off of that. I don't know. It doesn't seem so hard.
I don't think you can use the trans part of that, John.
Yeah, I was going to say. You don't want to say that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. We might get sued by the LGBTQAW, whatever it is, community.
LMOP, yes.
They're adding so many letters, you might as well just say LMNOP.
Yeah, you think if they keep adding letters, if they keep adding initials, that eventually they'll come up with some consonants and they can actually make a word out of it?
Yeah, then they can play Scrabble.
Or some vowels. That's what I mean, some vowels. Anyway.
Scrabble.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, Audrey. Since you're suffering from party burnout.
No, it's not party. It's allergy burnout. Yeah.
What is it that's on your hot plate right now? What's sticking out to you out there that you have a bit to grind?
No, actually, I'm actually enjoying watching Trump not even being president yet and everything that he's doing. I mean, he's saving the American people $3 billion by said, nah, I'll cancel the order of Boeing. Boeing's, I don't know if you saw this. I got to try to find it for you now. I think it was on Breitbart.
Yeah, he saved $3.2 billion. So Boeing canceled that contract.
Cancel that contract out. We'll just kind of refurbish what we have.
Yeah.
And save,
what a concept.
Price.
American people. I mean, I'm like furious to think that this is because he's not a politician. He's a businessman, and he looks at this and he goes, "What?" He said it's outrageous, and that he says, I'm going to save the American people right here, $3 billion. Now, I am angry, where we're all struggling. These numbnuts were using our money, and, oh, yeah, sure, why not? We'll pay the bill. $3 billion for a plane. That doesn't make you angry? That makes me angry. So I just love him for doing that.
Well, I think, and we were talking earlier, he makes a phone call to Japan. Somebody shows up and $50 billion dumps into the economy. I'm like, wow. I mean, is it really that simple? Just make a phone call? talk to the right
What's he
people.
He has a magic wand or something?
Yeah.
No, he's a businessman. He's a very smart businessman. Okay, let's just say that, because there are businessmen that are schmucks, but he's a smart businessman. And really, I'm telling you, you're going to see things turn around because he's not a politician. That's the difference. He's not a politician.
Yeah.
He has nothing to gain from this.
Yeah, well, I'm with you on that. I'm just enjoying. It's funny. It gives a whole new feeling when I watch TV at night. As I've said before, by the time I get out of post editing here at the show, I get about an hour 45 minutes between my wife, the time that I get out of the office here, to the time that my wife and I sit down and watch our Filipino soap operas.
Oh, stop it. Are you serious?
That's my weak spot. I've got a weak spot for Filipino soap operas.
Well, I don't know if you saw that. Well, I don't know if you guys probably didn't watch Guiding Light, but there was one other performer that did a duet with Donnie Most last night, and he was very well known. He's actually doing musical theater now. Robert Newman, who was a character for 28 years on Guiding Light.
Who's that? I'm sorry, I missed that, Audrey.
Okay, you didn't hear what I said?
I heard it. I have no idea.
Well, yeah, you have to take a look at my Facebook page. You'll see a picture of him. Well, some of your listeners may have watched Guiding Light when it was on.
Oh,
sure
Guiding Light, yeah. Well,
America's longest running soap opera.
That was, yes.
Yeah, okay. I at least remember that part of it.
Yeah, you remember that part. Yeah, actually, I think if I'm correct, he said it started on radio in 1937.
Yeah, I when I was in college, this is back in the 70s, I got hooked on soap operas because I went to college during the morning and then I worked midnight. And so when I got home from work in the morning, I had a hard time falling asleep right away. So I'd watch Another World. There was a soap opera called Another World. You remember that one?
Oh, there was Another World. Well, actually, he said there's 3 left, and one of them is a 30-minute soap opera.
Yeah, well, I got hooked on Another World.
That's called your morning news.
Yeah. I got hooked on Another World because the family that was in that was the Matthews family, and that's why I started watching it. And
really? Funny. I started watching, believe it or not, there was 2 soaps that I watched because I had mono. I was in college, and I worked in one of the many jobs I had while I was going to school. I worked for the food service there, and they had metal utensils, and apparently they didn't clean them very well. And I was one of the people that got mono. So it's probably to this day, and I've been very sick with a lot of things, but that to this day is still the worst sickness I ever had. And so I had nothing to do all day, and I sat there in excruciating pain watching Days of Our Lives and Guiding Light.
Wow.
And they hook. I'm telling you, the writers are good because they'd hook you back. They'd hook you in. I said, my gosh, I can't believe it. I used to make fun of these things. Now I'm hooked. Yeah, so I was hooked for years on that. Yeah.
I like the Filipino soap operas because every plot is exactly the same. And they just mix up the characters. It's always rich family versus poor family. And it's either the rich kid loves the poor girl or the rich girl loves the poor kid, and the family's always meddling, trying to get what they want. And
oh my gosh!
It's just. But what I really like about it is the fact that every single one of them, I don't care what it is, every single one of them makes references whenever there's a crisis. You know, I come in sometimes like, okay, who's in the hospital tonight? You know, that kind of stuff. But everybody goes to the chapel. Everybody's praying to God. Everybody's talking about the Lord. Let's trust in the Lord. They're very religiously centered. And I enjoy that because it kind of, just kind of puts things in the proper perspective. Anyway, we got to go to our quick break here. We'll be back. Light banter today. We're going to, what's the word I'm going to say here? What's the word? We're going to enjoy the calm with Audrey today. about Donald Trump being elected and some of the things that are already happening. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away. There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, the adults in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardosa. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardosa Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosalive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosalive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
Don't get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. Okay, hey, we're back. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And I do want to let you, those of you who tuned in to catch our interview that was scheduled with Jonathan Dunn, I just got notified by one of our affiliate heads out here that they had a internet outage is the phrase they're using. I would imagine that means power outage. I guess something went on over there, and he was not able to contact us. I guess that's why we had trouble hooking up with us. So we'll just have to reschedule that for another day. Maybe we'll have to wait till summer. When the weather isn't so radical over there. But anyway, just so those of you who did tune in to catch Jonathan earlier, we apologize for that. But hey, we're not able to regulate the sun now or yet. So blame Obama for that. Okay.
That's right. He was supposed to. Yeah, the tide was going to move, the moon, everything was. He was going to make everything happen, right?
Yeah. So I'm not going to have to make my mortgage or car payments anymore. It's just great. He's going to pull it out of the Obama stash.
Yeah, and where's his stash?
Yeah, well, I was just mentioning he gave a speech down in Florida today and talking about how, in spite of all the evidence that he failed, he didn't really fail. His terrorism policies have worked. ISIL's on the run. And it doesn't matter that everybody else in the world is saying, no, you goofed, you screwed up.
They're freaking insane. Come on, think about this. See, this is the quintessential trophy mentality. See, even though you lost, you really won. Right? Isn't it? Well, tell me, he lost. Look. He built everything on this foundation. I hate America. Okay, yeah. So you build on that foundation. What do you think is going to come out of it? See, what we have a president-elect that this is his foundation. I love America.
Yeah, so everything to do for America, and only America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God. Yes. Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Could you imagine a pro-American president? Oh my gosh.
Well, we were also mentioning earlier, Audrey, back to the Philippines here. I don't know how much you've been following what goes on in the Philippines, but the president over there, newly elected president, Rodrigo Duterte, who was referred to Obama more than once as the son of a whore.
I'm sorry.
And
yes,
it's amazing listening to this man because he has this attitude. His opponents come at him. People in Congress have come after him. Everything else because of his. I guess he's declared open season on drug dealers over there. And
right.
You can shoot and kill a drug dealer or a drug addict, put him out in the street, and the government will come collect the body. And it's, I mean, I think the last count, well, at last count, like 8,000 or 9,000 people have been killed since he took office in June. And so, the human rights people like Obama come out and say, hey, we got to talk about this. He goes, hey, I don't want to talk to you. I have no reason to talk to you. You're not the president here. You didn't elect me.
But he's he's looking forward to talking with President, President Trump. He's already said that he's looking for. You can't have respect for somebody who leads from behind or from their behind. Okay,
strategic patience.
Yeah. Strategic patience. You mean cowardice?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's not leadership at all.
Yeah,
strategic. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the actual policy they use. They wrote it down in the memo.
Yes, I know, and I think it's hysterical. It's cowardice. It's a euphemism for cowardice.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, go figure. And I always said the man did not have an American heart.
No, you like I said, look at the foundation that's being built. Anything you build upon, I hate America. None of it's going to be good for, America or its allies.
Yeah.
So you knew that 8 years of a dung heap was going to come on that. But this is a different foundation. So that's why you're seeing world leaders taking notice, enemies taking pause. Look, China can say whatever they want, or Iran can threaten anything they want. He'll crack them. With Mattis there, whack.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yes, and there's a whole bunch of people in the DOD leadership that are going, oh my goodness, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
We might have to quit and leave.
I'm so much getting a kick out of watching the media continue to try to fit Trump into their template.
Yeah.
And
he's
it's like,
he's just not fitting in a little mold.
Well, they can't stand. They don't know what to do because they want access.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're just seething that he's going to get in, and they want. And I love it because I think he's going to pull something that no other president has pulled. He is going to put like Breitbart and other alternative news agencies in. He's going to give them press passes, and he's going to move there. He's going to switch the seating around, and they're going to be in the front. And, the elites that wait a minute, that's my seat, are going to go in the back.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see that happen. We're out of time, Audrey. I want to give you time to plug your show. What you got going on this week?
Okay, I have comedian Jack Simmons is going to be with us, and Heritage Foundation's Colonel Stephen Bucci is going to be back with us. Plus, filmmaker Pierre Rehov from Tel Aviv. He's going to be talking about the Temple Mount. This is really heating up, so this is great. You got to check it out.
All right, my dear. You guys catch your show at audreyrusso.com on Thursdays, 8 o'clock out in the East Coast, right?
That's correct. Thank you.
All right, I finally got it right.
Yeah, you're so funny.
I keep trying. I just automatically stick stuff in the Pacific time zone, and I don't always get it right. So, okay. All right, my dear. We look forward to talking to you next time.
Thanks, Audrey.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We're coming up on the end here. Any parting shots here, Joe?
I just think it's just as Audrey was talking. It's just funny how the media is just apoplectic about what's going on, and they're doing it. All of them are doing, and they hear them talk about how Hillary Clinton, how it would have been so different, blah blah blah, and how it's just like, wow, they just don't get it, John. They are truly, they have no idea. They're lost. You might as well. It's like they don't have any oxygen. They're running around. They're like, I don't know what to do. It's just, I just was reading a little article here. they have, you know how they got the therapy dogs for people to help them.
Yeah.
I mean, we even have a dentist down here as part of her practice. She's got a little doggy. She'll give you a therapy dog while she's doing your teeth. All right.
Well, I can understand that. I can understand that.
I can't stand that. But I mean, here, show me your teeth, and the dog goes, "Arr," shows the teeth. Are you kidding me? No way. Anyhow, in San Francisco, they got therapy pigs at the airport.
Oh my goodness! It just yeah.
You run with that however you want at the end of the show here. You wanted a last shot. Think about that one. Where's my therapy pig at the airport?
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we're done for today. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock out here on the East Coast. Okay, 3 o'clock. See, I'm back in that time zone thing again. 3 o'clock out here on the West Coast, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. Visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. We love you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life. It only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hago, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.